Hey fight fans, welcome back again to another episode with the African Fighters. And in today's episode, yes, we are going to be previewing what is a very important matchup for one of your superstars from Africa, and that is no other than Themba Gorimbo. Yes, in recent times, Themba has risen to the spotlight for so many different reasons. Getting to meet one of the most famous people in the world, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, all of those big stories. He's done a lot of great things for his community, the ballhole builder as we like to call him. He has become a superstar, and this next matchup for him is a very important matchup. He is going to be taking on Pete Rodriguez. Yes, I will double down to why this is a very important matchup in a minute, but Pete Rodriguez takes this fight on short notice. Yes, he was supposed to be going up against Kiefer Crosby. That match got cancelled due to Crosby's withdrawal, and now he is set to take on Pete Rodriguez. Now, this is why this fight is really important and really interesting for Themba. Themba is at the point in his career where he can go on to become anything that he wants to. He's definitely loved by the UFC. He's got the charisma. He knows how to get the fans interested. You know, he's doing a lot of great things for the sport. This is a very important period in his fighting career. And I say this because Pete Rodriguez, on the other hand, has just 2 UFC fights. He's just 27 years of age. He's undersized for the division. He's quite short. Yes, Themba has all the physical advantages in this matchup. But before we go into the detail of the tape and how they match up, this in somewhat is a win-win fight for Pete Rodriguez, and in some way a nothing to gain fight for Themba Gorimbo. Yes, Themba Gorimbo is expected to beat Pete Rodriguez. He's more experienced, he's fought more high caliber opponents, he's a more well-rounded fighter, and because this is a short notice fight for Pete Rodriguez, on the other hand, has absolutely nothing to lose. This is the type of fight where even if he takes Themba into deep waters in round 3 and gets some sort of a split decision loss, he'll still come out feeling very proud of himself. A lot of credit will go his way. So there's not too much to gain for Themba, and there's everything to gain for Pete Rodriguez. That is why this is such an important matchup for Themba. It is because he cannot lose. Alright, now let's go into the tail of the tape. Themba Gorimbo stands 6'1" tall, has a 77-inch reach, the second fighter to ever fight from Zimbabwe in the UFC, matching up against Pete Rodriguez, who is just 5'11". As I said earlier, pretty undersized for the division, has just a 73-inch reach, and so you can see Themba has the physical advantages as well as being the more rounded fighter coming into this matchup. Now, as for how we think this is going to play out, Pete Rodriguez has fought twice in the UFC. A short notice fight against Jack Della Maddalena, which was a fight, if we're being honest, he had no business being in. Della Maddalena is on his way to, you know, competing for the welterweight title. He's such a high-class fighter. A little bit too much to be thrown at Pete Rodriguez as his debut fight in the UFC. He, however, bounced back against Mike Jackson, absolutely showing that he has got knockout power. And yes, those are his 2 fights in the UFC. He does, however, come from a fighting family. His elder brother is a fighter. His mom and dad did have some combat sport experience. So you would think he's somebody who is knowledgeable in going up against a variety of different styles. Themba Gorimbo, on the other hand, has experience on his side. He's 33 years of age. He should be at his peak, you know, in his prime. Lost his first fight in the UFC to AJ Fletcher, bounced back against Takeshi Sato in an absolutely dominant performance. Alright, now Themba is an absolute beast when it comes to the cardio. It is something that he should weaponize in this fight. Pete Rodriguez definitely has the power to knock out Themba Gorimbo in the first round. You know, he packs a punch. But if Themba can survive the first round, then it should be his for the taking. Yes, it is in his best interest, Themba Gorimbo, to take this fight to the ground as soon as possible. We know he has the cardio to sustain it. Try and get a submission against Pete Rodriguez. If the fight stays standing throughout the first round, then Pete Rodriguez definitely does have that knockout power that could bother Themba Gorimbo. Alright, as far as predictions go, I will be going for Themba Gorimbo to have every answer to whatever threat that Pete Rodriguez poses. Yes, I think Themba is going to win this one by submission in round 2 of this matchup. Alright guys, leave your comments in the comment section. Who do you think is going to come out victorious, and in what round do you think they are going to win? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do all the great things for the African Fighters. I will see you in another episode. Bye for now.
Come on, Africans!